One of our top stories this morning, and likely will make news for some time to come, started, as you're looking live, at the State House. The governor and state lawmakers passed state tax limits that set up some pretty bruising budget battles on the city and town level across Indiana. Ernan mentioned Beech Grove issues earlier this morning. Carmel's dealing with the same thing, too. Mayor Sue Finkam is hoping to get out ahead of it. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Put this into the Carmel context. Ernan looked at the numbers in Beech Grove. How dire is the situation? What do people who live there need to know?
Well, first of all, we're blessed in that we've got great resources and we've had for some time, and we will rise above this. So from the taxpayer's perspective, there's no concern for woe. However, we expect to lose about $10 million from what we expected to receive this year. And our teams have been hard at work trying to find efficiencies and new ways of dealing with this new reality.
Take me back to, I don't know, January, February, at the mayor's home. You're reading the newspaper, you're watching television, you see SB 1 and what it could do. What was your reaction at that moment? How quickly did you realize this is going to land on my head in a few months?
Well, I guess the thought that going through my head was, I had said during the campaign, was what we had experienced the last 10 years was not going to be like the next 10 years, and that I was glad our teams had already been at work in finding efficiencies. But it's challenging for sure. Our residents have expectations of strong snow plow, strong snow removal,
right.
Great amenities, and a wonderful kept city, and so we have to meet those.
So let's talk about the areas where if you cannot find new money and you have to make cuts, what are the things that are in jeopardy?
Well, I would say nothing's in jeopardy. It's perhaps just how we tackle our priorities, and our priorities will always be a safe community, strong infrastructure, and support for the arts, and again, a thriving economy. And let's be clear, these tax dollars that we receive from our residents don't just go in a bank account, they get reinvested in the community. So every dollar that doesn't come to the city also does not get reinvested. It will, in fact, also impact moms and pop businesses. So
correct me if this is too simple of a way to put it, but you have to deal with trimming the budget where necessary, but also finding new funding resources. What tools have state lawmakers given you to that end, and is it enough to make up any shortfalls on the other end? This
year, meaning 26 and 27, are the roughest years. In 28, supposedly, and it could change, we can levy a new income tax. However, in the meantime, we have to figure out how to do with all that we need to do with what we have. We could perhaps increase some fees, and we're looking at that. We're trying to keep our expenses as low as possible, but yet deliver high quality services.
So timeline and mechanism for getting the local income tax bump. Again, it's 2 years out. What has to happen before that to set the groundwork? At some point, does it come to a vote of the council? Can you do it by decree? How does that work?
It comes to a vote for the council, and right now it's set for 2 weeks before we all get reelected, so isn't that fun?
Or maybe reelected. And that's a reality of this as well. It's a political environment at all times for somebody in an elected position, but you will be tasked with unpleasant things over the next couple of years. How much do political decisions weigh in on the on-the-ground snowplow and school decisions that you have to make?
Hey, listen, when I said I was going to run for this seat, I said I'd always make decisions that are best for the taxpayer, not necessarily best for my future. I can always go back to the private sector and do something different. This is for the community. This is for our future. We're going to make those decisions based on that.
One of the things you did, you held sort of an open night where you discussed this, put together a PowerPoint presentation. I watched a little bit of your presentation, and you were pretty candid about some of the people who may have difficulty. Some will sort of see an offset. If we increase local taxes, but you get a break on your property taxes, it's not going to be a big deal to you. But then you look at people who rent, who maybe have a lower income than the rest of their neighbors in Carmel, Governor Square and your Gramercy folks. This is going to be tougher on them proportionally. They don't have property taxes to benefit from, but they still may have to pay on the other end with the income tax.
Correct. I thought it was important that every type of resident, renter, family in an average price home in Carmel, and seniors see how it impacts them, because it's very complex. And so we tried to do the best we could to say this is what it means for you in the future.
So I guess as a voter, as a taxpayer, what does one then do at this point? Just sit back, wait, and hope you make good decisions? Do you want to hear from them? What's the thought?
We always want to hear from our residents, absolutely, and our business owners and managers in the city of Carmel. I think for the best thing that they can do is help us give us ideas and give us feedback always. They're why we exist. We're who they serve, or we are serve them. I can't talk today. And they're important to us. We want to hear from them.
Well, we want to hear from you often throughout the course of this because there'll be tough decisions to make, maybe some opportunities that. Do the mayors get together? I mean, we got 92 counties full of mayors who are facing D's and R's either side of the aisle. Do you talk with others about how to deal with this?
We have a trade organization, Accelerating Indiana Municipalities, that certainly has been a leader to us, with us, in talking to the state legislature, that we always do get together a couple times a year. I also have a pretty strong text thread with the other mayors in Hamilton County. So we're constantly talking about this. We're talking about what efficiencies they have, how are they staffing different departments, how we can collaborate on purchasing agreements, and other ways to save dollars. So yeah, we're really active.
That'd be a heck of a text thread to be in on. Maybe it's just trash talk.
Maybe a little
football,
snark.
A little snark there. Mayor Sue Finkam, thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.
We'll check in with you from time to time to see how this is happening. Carmel writ large on the entire state. I mean, every community in town, city and town will have to deal with this on some level.